back with another Shimmerz project for you guys, and also Shimmerz is doing a Christmas in July promotion. So here is the promo code if you guys are interested. It'll also be at the end of the video as well. I am also combining this with the unconventional cut file usage, as well as Paw Your Way to Our Hearts about our puppies. And this is my puppy Roscoe. He is not a puppy, but that's what I call him because he acts like just a big kid. I have some wood stars that are just cut out from wood veneer. I also have these rainbow thickers. Now it's kind of weird because they're white, but the name of them is Rainbow. And I decided to disassemble some of the pre-made words to make my own title. I love doing this because I get what I want out of my thickers instead of trying to make what I have work. I also pulled out a little tiny embellishment sticker from Heidi Swap, but I don't plan on using it. Okay, so for my Shimmerz products, I have two inklings. Actually, all of mine are inklings. This one here that I'm showing you is Tarnished Treasure, and of course, Blew My Mind, which definitely blows my mind every time. Then I have some Steely Blue Eyes and Frosty Buns. I absolutely love them, and I will need to activate them with my water spray. I also have four, my gosh, I can't count. This one here is Vibes Ocean, Love Ocean number 9, and then the colorings, which is, oh my gosh, Well Blew Me Down, and then two more Vibes, Don't Rain on My Parade, and The Glorious Day, which is beautiful because it's a clear with a sparkly gold inside. So it's going to leave a gold shimmer on my project. I absolutely love using these sprays for just about everything, honestly. I have a few feather cut files. And then from the New Day Collection Echo Park, I have this beautiful blue color, and then it's a green on the other side for cardstock, but I do plan on using the blue. Then I have this paper, which is brand new to me, you guys. I have never heard of this company ever before. It is an Australian company called Uniquely Creative, and it has this beautiful train paper on one side, and then, of course, the tone-on-tone print on the other. And this collection is called Drive and Fly, and this piece of paper is the train paper. So I'm going to use the monochromatic side of this paper, and then I have this uber old, close to my heart cardstock that is chevron tone on one side and then just gray on the other. So the first thing I'm going to do is activate all of my pots. And once I am done doing that, I'm going to bring in my spray box and spray all of my stars with the Don't Rain on My Parade, which is beautiful, you guys. It is a very dark blue, and then it has even like a dark blue shimmer to it. So it's very subtle, very me. I absolutely love it. This is one of the first sprays that I purchased because I love it. Look at that blue on that. Oh my gosh, it is so beautiful. So I had to spray it about 3 times because the thing about wood veneer is that it soaks in the color the first couple times. Normally what I do is I wait for it to dry, which only takes a few seconds the first spray. I wait for it to dry, spray it again, wait for that to dry, and then spray it again. So I get full saturation of the color. All right, pulling out my messy mat because I'm still not sure if my surface can handle my mixed media. And I don't want to try it, you guys. In all honesty, I'm scared to try it. So then I'm going to pull out all my beautiful pots and start painting my feathers. I was in the middle of painting all of these feathers, and my kids walked in and they're like, oh my gosh, those are so pretty, Mom, and started pointing their fingers and whatnot. And so in super speed, you're going to see flash lightning come in, and they're my kids pointing at their favorite feathers. So the first color that I am starting with, of course, is my favorite. It's called Blew My Mind. It is the perfect name for this blue because if you turn your pot over, you can see gold flakes in it, and it is absolutely gorgeous, you guys. And it's the shimmer, the shine, it's seriously blew my mind. I mean, it's beautiful. The next pot that I am digging into is Steely Blue Eyes. That is the darkest blue that I have, which is a steely blue. It is exactly what it says it is. It is like a silvery blue, and it is beautiful. And of course, the lighter blue that I have is called Frosty Buns. This was my very first blue that I ever owned, and I received it in a kit, and I thought at first was like, what do I do with this? And then I used it for the first time, and I was like in love. Oh my gosh, it is the perfect little blue, and almost has a white shimmer to it. So it is the best blue ever to use in any project, not just a winter project or anything like that. And the last thing that I'm going to do is add touches of what I consider brown. So add the deeper tones, which is this Tarnished Treasure. And it is just such a beautiful coppery, I don't know how to describe it, you guys, but it is gorgeous. And so I love adding all of these colors in together. All right, next up, I am going to take my paper and cut them into 1x1 squares. Very boring, so I definitely sped that up and got rid of it. Not got rid of it. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Roscoe is right here, and he is wanting attention because he knows I'm talking about him. But yes, I sped that up quite a bit, took out some pieces because it's very boring cutting 1x1, and then I distressed all of the edges, and then I used my, what is this called? Press and seal to keep them all organized, so that way I knew what order they went into. Not that it matters, the tone on tone, you definitely can't tell the print, and by the time I'm done, you definitely can't see it. But I wanted, it's my OCD, you guys. I had to keep it in order, in all honesty. Okay, then I'm also not doing all of the pieces, or not using all of the pieces, because I want to keep my photos and my project within a certain amount, which is a kind of a 10x10 on my 12x12. So I'm going to do that. Then I'm going to double matte my photos. So I've already got one distressed matte around my photos. But what I'm doing now is making a double matte, so that way it fits within my squares of, of the 1x1s. And then I will be distressing the edges of those as well. So I've got a double distressed edge, which I kind of like how it looks. I wanted to try it on one first. And then see if I liked it on all of the others before just diving right in. But I do like how it looks. I've never actually done this before as far as using the exact same colors, but I love how it turned out. I like the effect. So after I am done with all of this, I do know that my one photo is a little on the short side, but I will fix that as well, and it won't be as noticeable in the end, I promise. So I'm going to have my photos all the way over to the left, and then my squares. So all of my feathers are dried and beautiful. I love how after I'm done painting a feather, or just a cut file in general, how stiff it becomes. It feels like it's more durable. It feels like I can handle it a little bit better, and it's not so fragile when it's just by itself. I don't know why it does that, but I do know that I love that effect. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is put my feathers where I want them as I am working down the line. I do have, I wanted my feathers to be a part of my background, but I also wanted them to be sticking out. One of the reasons why I did feathers, now this only makes sense in my brain, in all honesty, but the reason why I wanted to do feathers is because Roscoe has a bad habit, and it's my fault. But when I was doing laundry and when he was a puppy, we've always had these wool dryer balls, and Roscoe loves playing catch with me. And I say with me because he's kind of stubborn when it comes to playing catch with anybody else. And so he likes playing fetch when I'm around, and I do laundry quite often. And so he'll sit up there and kind of whine at me saying, are you done yet? I really want to go play fetch, whatever he's thinking. And so one day I dropped a dryer ball, and he's seen it, and he's like, she's playing with me. And he took off running with the ball. And it's like, seriously? But the dryer ball somehow, some way got stuck on his tooth. and that's why it's a little bit torn out. I had to replace the dryer ball, clearly, but yeah, he just got so excited that I was playing ball with him. Well, now he's in the bad habit of, he actually puts his head in the dryer and steals one of my dryer balls all the time. He as soon as I turn my back, he's like, "Ha, I got it. She has to come get me and play with me," right? It's an attention thing. I'm pretty sure. But I wanted to document it because this one here was his first time that he did this. And, you know, you could tell he's like, "This isn't mine. Like, you didn't give this to me." The look on his face was just so adorable. And it made me think of, you know, I'm doing laundry and the downy feathers in a pillow, that sort of thing. So that's where the feathers came from, it's just, when I think of laundry, I think of soft, I think of fluffy, I think of all those kinds of things. And the feathers, you know, bring that mood and feel in for me. So what I'm doing here is I took all my journaling and I wrote it down on my scrap piece of white cardstock and then cut it into strips. And then I took my tarnished treasure and inked the edges. I love this effect on larger pieces, smaller pieces. I just love the shimmer effect or the gold gilding effect on the edges of paper. And so what I did was I just painted all of my pieces so that way they stood out a little bit more on my very pastel background that I created, or I should say embellishment strip that I created. And then I wanted to move on to my title. So my title definitely was not going to stick out very well on my embellishment strip that I created. So I put it on the same paper that I used to map my photos, and I needed a question mark. I couldn't turn an S into a question mark, so I decided to just use my white gel pen and made my question mark, and it just says, "This isn't my ball." Like, really? He knows better, but he still does it. He's 14 years old, or no, he's 8 years old. I apologize. The other one's 14. He is 8 years old, and he still reaches his head in there when I'm not looking and steals a dry ball. He doesn't do it to the kids. He doesn't do it to anybody else. But when I'm up there, he just goes in there as fast as he possibly can and steals those balls. It is just so funny. It's great. So anyways, I am taking my stars that are now dry, and I'm going to scatter them around like sequins. And I have to tell you that they looked so good scattered around, I couldn't stop, and I end up using all of the ones that I painted. I say that because I have tons more, but I just painted so many, and I just love it. I love the curve that I have created. I love the embellishment strip that I have created. I love this. I love how it looks. And now I'm going to bring it all together by adding some splatters. So the first splatter that I am using is called Ocean Number 9. And I have to tell you that Ocean Number 9 and Well Blew Me Down, even though when you put them on wet, they look the same, but when they dry, you get sort of like a depth perception going on because one dries a little darker than the other one. I say a little because it is noticeable, but you have to wait patiently for it to dry to see it. And what it reminds me of is a galaxy where you have brighter stars and a little less brighter, like they're farther away. That's what that reminded me of, is it gives me a lot of depth. And then I'm going to add my Glorious Day on there. I have a little struggle with that because I have not actually sprayed with this spray, and so I didn't have any up in the tube to be able to splatter out. So I figured this out later that I just don't have anything in the tube. So I spray it real quick, and once I had all that ink in the tube, it's like, it came out beautifully. I was so excited. But I had to spray it for the very first time in order to get it to splatter. And then, of course, last but not least, I added my Don't Rain on Parade just for some more depth. And I absolutely love how the splatters bring all of this stuff together and make it like it's one solid cluster. And that is my layout for today, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is my last project for Shimmerz, for the guest designer. I had a blast painting and playing with all of the different colors. Don't forget to hit that promo code to get 25% off in the shop. Also, too, if you mention my name, you will get, in the comment section of your order, if you mention my name, you will get a little surprise, a free gift from Shimmerz, which is awesome. We always like little gifties. So thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to check out Janet Fritz's channel as well. She is playing along with the unconventional cut file usage. I am loving using up these cut files, you guys. It just feels so good. It really does. And also, too, be sure to check out Rebecca Lockhart. Be sure to check out her channel, I'm sorry, not handle, as well as Miranda Weber. She is playing around with the Pause Your Way into Your Heart and documenting all of those fur babies that we have in our lives. Okay, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will check y'all later. Bye!